using the platform, it's using the follower numbers, it's using the relationships that we can build to effectively create those opportunities for people. Follow and follow is just one of the tactics that we use with our, like, along with the skill set that we use.
So would you be pissed off if someone unfollowed you?
No. And if they get mad at me for unfollowing, then I don't want a relationship with them because they value their follower number more than the relationship. Dude, I don't follow you, but I answer all your DMs. Why does that follow matter so much?
Because it's a social construct. It's a dynamic.
Hi, my name is Samuel Thompson, and that was my golden hour.
He's effective because he's a business guy.
Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 deer nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the fire deer attacked. Only Derek, master of all 4 elements, could stop those boys. But when Boston needed him most, he vanished into the enchanted golden deer forest.
Season 4. All right. Jack, you need anything before we start? Hey, make sure everyone knows that you're here. With cameras rolling? Guys, I'm here. So all these girls that keep coming up and say Jack looks like Aquaman, don't you think?
Yeah, bro, I could take that.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't, but I've seen all the posters, so.
It looks like Jason Momoa.
Wait, you gotta take your shirt off so I can really tell.
He's huge. So listen, we got another tall, white, smart, attractive, ambitious, hardworking ginger.
Yeah, that's me. I guess I can.
Thanks for coming, brother. This is Sam or Samuel Thompson.
That's right.
Before we start, do you want to just like give yourself a little synopsis to the camera?
What's up, guys? I'm Sam Thompson. I don't know, man. Social media influencer, businessman. Been around the block a couple times with all the entrepreneurship stuff. But yeah, dude, just
which is a very open term nowadays.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. I don't know. It's tough because that's what the people want me to call myself, bro. Like, I don't see myself like that.
I know it's a weird term. I mean, I just think anyone who's like a hustler can kind of brand themselves as it, especially with the state of the internet. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And what it is like most of these people aren't entrepreneurs, right? When I think entrepreneur, I think like Steve Jobs, right? Like Bill Gates, like people that are creating truly innovative things that add so much value. But like these other people, like realistically, they just run online businesses
or self-starters. I would call entrepreneur.
I'm down with that. Like,
but there's a lot of glamour that people associate with it. When I think of like a true entrepreneur, like I think of someone like literally just like scraping through the dirt.
Right.
You know
like the Gary V clouds and dirt thing, bro. Like you got to eat shit for like 5
big shouts
years.
To Gary V.
Yeah, facts. Big shouts.
Have you noticed his effect?
In what way?
I mean, you're totally in the social media influencer space, and he's like kind of the beacon, right?
Yeah, at least in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I mean, the dude drops millions and millions of dollars into his personal brand. He has 30 people that work for him exclusively on the Gary V brand.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And puts out a disgusting amount of content.
Yeah, it's literally just like pure content play all the way through.
You think he's annoying, but he's smart as fuck.
Yeah, it's like it works for whatever reason it is, bro. Like putting out 18 pieces of content a day, and like in the US, we only see like a third of it. The dude puts out content in Chinese and Turkish, and like
I didn't even know that.
He has independent entities. Like if you look up like Gary V China, bro, like that's a separate account that has all this stuff going through.
Oh, is that on YouTube or IG?
On IG.
Yeah, is that his most prevalent network?
I have no idea, bro.
Whatever. I'm fascinated by the guy.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy.
So Sam is actually not from Boston.
But
you started to rep it a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. I bet heavy on Boston now. I mean, I've lived in...
But you did not want the Pats to win. You said when I...
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
What's up, bro?
I know.
What's good, bro?
That's okay. It's, you guys got both of them this year. It's fine.
Fire.
Yeah, it's all right. The Lakers are coming for it, though.
Okay, bro.
No, let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Trust the system.
Are they going to make the playoffs, Doug?
Yeah, for sure. 7th seed. And they're going to come from behind.
Well, the Celtics community in Boston's interesting. It's like not... they're not as diehard. I don't know if you've noticed that since you've been out here, but they're not as diehard fans for the Celtics as there are for the Red Sox and the Patriots.
Pats, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, which is cool for me because the only one that I care about is the Lakers.
I know. It seems like that's the only LA team that people really ride for.
I mean, that's the only one that's been there forever. So, like...
What about the Kings? Are they new?
I mean, hockey's on the upswing right now,
yeah.
right? Like,
and
the LA basketball has like, been LA basketball since, like, the 70s, like, forever. And, like, with, 16, 17 championships, so we could be proud of that one. But the Rams and stuff, like, how are we supposed to be proud about that? The Raiders, like...
The Rams are exciting, though.
Oh, now they are, but, like...
I mean, they just got there.
Yeah.
And the Chargers moving to LA, too, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to, which I don't... That's not the best move, but...
And where are the Raiders moving to LA? I mean, Las Vegas?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Hey, as a big business guy, wouldn't that be a fucking blast to merge a team somewhere?
Right. That'd be crazy. Take a new spot. Like when they brought
that's
the
like
Thunder.
the biggest dick swing statement of all time, bro.
Yeah. Like I took a whole professional sports team away from a city into a new one.
Well, no, it's interesting, and I'll send it to you after we're done. But I had this dude who started an arena football team here in Worcester. They're called the Mass Pirates.
I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
Bro, the way I don't know if he just didn't describe it fully transparently. But the way he described it, he was like, yeah, I had the idea to start the team up. It took me 6 months, and then pretty much we started playing. Wow. It's a professional league.
Yeah, it's like a real thing. He jumped right into it.
Yeah. Imagine the social media strategy for something like that.
You have to build an entire fan base in 6 months for a team that's never existed before.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You'd be pulling out your hair, bro. Holy shit. So, Sam, you are now fully working. Well, I mean, as most entrepreneurial dudes are, I'm sure you have your attention in a lot of different places.
Yeah, a few.
But you now work is the Institute of Ethics?
Yep, the Institute of Ethics is like the overarching company.
So you're gonna have to just describe that.
Yeah,
to me.
so essentially it's a non-profit venture studio. So we build a bunch of businesses and take all the money that we generate and put it back into social impact projects to try to help the world. Right? Like without getting into like the craziness, I was really, really successful really young. Right.
Yeah.
And I lost my grandparents in a car accident when I was 17. So what ended up happening is I had more money than I knew what to do with. Was successful by anyone's definition.
And you were finessing, I don't want to say finessing, but you were facilitating social media strategy for hotels,
social
right?
For hotels, restaurants, bars, all throughout
in LA.
Yeah, all throughout
Fire.
the West Coast.
And you didn't really know you were successful. You're like, yo, I'm just kind of playing, right?
Yeah, I was just doing my thing, bro. Like I was the weird kid that just liked Facebook. Like I just did it for fun.
Yeah,
and then someone was like, yo, can you do that for my business? And I was like, yeah, sure, $500. And then that turned into
it grows
like crazy stuff. But yeah, so at that moment though, I had everything that I was supposed to be successful, right? And then I had the only things that mattered to me like absolutely ripped away from me, super tragic.
So you just grew up with your grandparents?
I mean, like a lot with them.
Okay.
Like I'd see them on the weekends. Like I'd spend a lot of time there. Like my dad worked a lot, so my mom would go there. And then obviously as my dad stopped working as much, I got to spend more time with them. But like I was always with those grandparents. Right? They were like the second set of parents. And yeah, when that happened, just like a switch flipped where I was like, bro, like the money's not the answer, right? Like let's create something that's fulfilling. While I understand for whatever reason.
So how old are you at this point?
17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah, they passed away when I was 17, I think.
Right.
Going into my senior year of high school. So I was like, all right, let's flip this switch. Like, for whatever reason, God blessed me with the ability to make money. Thank God for that, right? But for me, it wasn't about the money. Like, I don't really care about the nice stuff. Like, I don't wear crazy stuff. Like,
well, you got some Patagonia and fresh kicks, bro.
But
You might be
like,
lying a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I lay low on it, though. Like, I'm not rocking Gucci. Like, I don't need the Yeezys.
Yeah, but
like,
that's not even glamorous.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm not about that hype stuff.
You don't want to flex.
So it's for me, it's like, all right, fine. Let's figure out a way that I can use my skill sets as effectively as possible to create the most impact so I can be fulfilled. Right?
I get it. But this was a conversation we had briefly at Starbucks. So Sam had set up, initially when I linked him, I'd seen something. It was actually Adam Hanna. I was like, yeah, there's actually this kid in the city who's doing like a bunch of social media strategy. I was like, yeah, I want to start doing like business owners in the city and like people that are like busting and making moves. Because I mean, I wanted to not only diversify the audience, but I wanted to talk to new people in the city.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was like, yeah, this kid Sam Thompson. I know him through like one of my BC High friends or something. So I like looked it up. So I DM'd Sam, and then he responded with a video. You probably thought I was nuts off rip. I was like, yo, let's fucking do a podcast, man. Come on, bro. Let's fucking run it.
Right.
Which was no bullshit. I was like, yo, that's an amazing way to respond to people.
Bro.
Via video. No one else will do that.
It's a game changer, bro. Every influencer.
It shows you will sack up and do it.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, bro, like, I would have spent more than 15 seconds fucking typing it out, right? So I'm like, dude, I'd literally just film myself for 10, 15 seconds, send it out, I don't have to think about it again.
That's what clout will do too, Jack. There's a kid, I'll show you him. He's like kind of an influencer in the city too. His name's DJ Cloud. He'll do the same shit, but it's effective.
It works, bro. It's like two-pronged. Like, I don't have to spend as much time, and you feel like I care a lot more.
Absolutely.
Right.
But so then Sam was like, yeah, man, I'm doing a photography meetup. I think you probably thought I was a photographer or something.
No, bro. I was just trying to. I use it as an excuse to like bring.
Get a collective. Oh yeah, same shit. And I showed up to Starbucks a little bit late, but there's all these photographers there. You guys did some shoot in the Common.
We walking around Boston Common and stuff.
It's good though. It's good shit.
Yeah. It's that one-to-many approach, bro. I have to spend an hour instead of spend 30 minutes with each of those people. I can just spend an hour with all of them at the same time.
Absolutely. And I asked Sam, we were talking, Sir South, like, I don't think said a word when we were there. He's actually a really sociable kid. He's quiet.
He was mad quiet.
Yeah, he's very quiet, bro. His music's good, though. I'll play you some. And he was like, I was like, bro, but humans are selfishly motivated. You can't beat me on that. You feel me? Like, I understand. It's like, yo, you, also from a business perspective, like, you feel like you have leverage when you're helping a ton.
Absolutely.
But you have to be selfishly motivated at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I want to achieve fulfillment. I want to feel good about the work that I do. And if I'm out here just making money, I don't get to achieve what I want. So thank God for whatever reason that I get my fulfillment from helping people, because that means that I can go and do that. You good?
You're good.
I can go and do that without. I mean, it's selfish, I guess, to some degree, but it's like, for me, I don't need that piece of, like, I'm trying to make all the money for me. I'm trying to make all that money for people. It helps me at the end, though.
Yeah, no, I get it for sure, but you know what I'm saying? In business, it's just like the sport you play is competitive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would totally be lying if I said I don't want to grow the show to be massive.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, do you think it coincides being, like, philanthropic and at the same time, like, growing your own shit?
I mean, for me, it's created the ability for me to grow it faster. Mm-hmm. Bro, like, the better of a human I am and the better impact that I leave on people, the bigger people want to play ball with me.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, it does grow my shit. Not for selfish reasons outside of maybe attaining that fulfillment. Right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of it, it's like, I just want to build this. I want this to be multi-billion.
Yeah, for sure.
In both impact and profit. Right? Like, that's what I need it to be.
Yeah, so I'm starting to kind of rationalize your mindset a little bit, like, being philanthropic at the end of the day is kind of a competitive advantage.
I mean, it gives me that by the nature of what it is, but at the core, it's not intended to do that, right? And that's what you have
I
to
get
think
it,
about.
but it's a fine line. You know what
I'm saying?
It is,
but if you understand the intention of who the person is, then it's not so fine. It's
sure.
really, really easy. Like, my intention is to help people.
Yeah.
Do I love making money? Absolutely, right? But at the end of the day,
I also feel like you're probably at a point now where it's like, from what you say, like, you've always been making bread. I feel like once you have it, it's like, okay, I can get it easy, so it's really not that big of a deal.
I mean, at times, I've gone through waves throughout my career where I've been broke, right? Like, I invest heavy in everything that I do because I believe so much in it.
We'll do the same shit. Go blitz on it, right?
Go absolute blitz, and then you're sitting there with $1,000 in your bank account after having 6-7 figures in it 3 years before. You're like, oh.
Whoa.
Like, ugh, not used to this feeling.
Man. Shit.
Right?
There's, I know, but I think that's like, do you think you make decisions on impulse?
Not anymore. I trust.
We're still both mad young, bro.
That's true.
You feel me?
Well, I've been doing this for 7 years now.
Yeah, I feel you for sure.
I'm not young. I'm not new to the game, but I'm not, like, experienced in the game.
We are young, though.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I mean, for me, I started doing this thing. It's like trust but verify. Like, I trust my gut, right? I trust that impulse, whatever that is. But I have to verify that that's the right decision before actually pulling trigger.
With who? Someone else?
Like, with someone else, with a business decision, with whatever, right? Like, somebody comes in and offers an opportunity. I have an impulse, right? My gut says yes, no, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pull that trigger right then. I'm going to be like, hold up. All right, let me verify that this is actually a good move with my team. That's why I built that team. That's why I trust those people.
You sound like a responsible dude, man. I probably got to get a little bit of that.
Well,
sauce.
I mean, I lost a lot of money in my career on things that I've had gut decisions on, and it didn't work out.
No, I forget who said it, but someone was like, yo, money is just stored energy. Do you see it like that?
Absolutely.
So to verify for anyone that's going to be listening, like, what the philosophy is that people get money because they exert a lot of energy into it. And so it's just like now that energy is in a bank account.
Right. It's stored.
Sometimes when you're making money, it's not even hand to hand. It's just from one account to the other. Just trying to simplify the mindset. Do you believe in that, though?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's, I mean, it depends on what your definition of energy is, but it's essentially the ability to do something, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what money does. It gives people the ability to do stuff. That's why I like money. I like money because if I have an idea and I have cash in my bank account, I can go and execute on that right away.
You have the apparatus.
Right. And what it does is when you have money, think about it like this. Like, if you have no money when you start your business, you have to put all your physical, mental, emotional energy into it. You do have money, that I guess ratio goes down. Right, you can spend less time, less energy, less of your own personal, emotional, physical, and like energy levels, and have the money do a lot of that work for you.
And you don't have the sense of fear.
Right. I mean, depends. It depends
if you're
on how
going
much
big
money you're
blitz
putting
mode,
in.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's been times where it's like, shit, am I going to be able to like go to Chipotle and my card's not going to bounce on me? You feel me?
Yeah, but why is that scary?
Because
if you have nothing to lose. Why is that scarier than having $100,000 to lose?
Because you'd be big hungry because you couldn't get your salad,
right?
Bro.
But like at the end of the day, bro, just go down to 7-Eleven and cop a hot dog. But like for real,
but not if you're trying to lean out and look good. You feel me?
I mean, I got you, but for real, like if you have nothing to lose, then why are you scared?
I get it. It's also easier to say sometimes. Like I've tried to have this conversation with people. It's like, yo, why don't you just fucking go do it? Right? You're overthinking shit. But it's kind of a blessing that you have the ability to maneuver that mindset. Not everybody has that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you ever feel obligated because you're a smart dude to be like, yo, I kind of have to do what I'm doing because I've been gifted skills that other people don't have?
Yeah,
sure.
A lot. I feel a huge sense of responsibility. Mm-hmm. Like, God, whatever your higher power is, right? Whatever it is, bless me with the ability to do what I do, right? And I would feel, I don't know if ashamed is the right word, but something along those lines, if I just sat around and played Fortnite all day, right? Because he's given me something that I can use to my advantage to help both myself and those around me and like the world as a whole. Why would I not use that gift?
Exactly. But I also mean, like, do you feel like a sense of obligation consistently, like, holy shit, I'm lacking, I owe it to other people to do stuff like this?
Yeah, I've struggled with it for a long time.
Yeah, bro, that shit fucking kills me.
Long time. Yeah, that's a rough game. Feeling like you owe people things for the sake of it, right? Like
you do at a certain point, though.
Right, and it's like, how do you balance that, right? Like,
then just being like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I wonder. Like, imagine if you weren't doing what you're doing. Like, it'd be a travesty, right?
Yeah. For who are you talking about though? Like
for yourself and everybody else who could possibly benefit from what you're offering.
and that's what it is. Like I wanted, but that's like it is. That's a responsibility. Like I have that responsibility because I know what kind of impact that the work that I can do as an individual can do.
And know what's crazy, bro? We're so young. It's just starting.
I know, right?
Isn't that dope?
It's dope and terrifying.
It's like, yo, what the fuck?
It's like
I got crazy.
It's like I got 45, 50 more years of this.
And Boston's a baby.
It is, dude, and that's why we bet so heavy on it. That's why we built the office here.
Yeah, so elaborate how the inception of your. Can you just also simplify exactly what it is your nonprofit does? Because I don't really understand the space, like, because you still have to make money. So, just
So it started back a year and a half ago. I met Dennis Vysokovsky. He was a monk for 34 years out in Worcester, a Catholic monk. He took his.
You were buying drugs out there?
No, I met him at a Starbucks in Fenway.
Okay,
but no, I just had coffee with them and we were talking. And he took his monastery from being donation based to being self-sustaining by creating businesses, right, to support both monastic life of like maintaining what they do, as well as supporting their charitable initiatives, right? So we started talking about the values and principles by which we live our lives. There's universal principles that govern everything. We aligned on those, both personally and professionally. And we decided, well, at that moment, we didn't know what we were going to do. We just knew we were going to do something. And we both had God-given gifts of being able to create value in the lives of people, make money, do that.
So let's just slow down. Yeah. So he was running his monastery, and at the same time, he was receiving profit via
variety of businesses.
Okay, so he was a businessman and a monk.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And he just started businesses.
And that's not against his policy? Or?
I mean, it was against the churches to some degree, which is a whole nother story that I'd rather not speak
no
on.
Worries.
But he ended up leaving the monastery 6 years ago, so we could do this as a lay person. He still obviously abides by his faith and loves all of that, and really is in depth and in touch with his spirituality. Just without the confines of religion,
being
right?
like, can't talk to a chick.
Right. So, but all of that is essentially coming down to, we decided to leverage our skills where we literally build businesses, profitable companies, right, under a holding company.
Just you and this guy?
Yeah, and all of our teams that we hire to come in and
you
work
contract other teams?
Yeah, either contract, hire directly, bring in partners, right? It's a venture studio, right, where we build high growth, high potential businesses. And then what ends up happening is, as those generate money, whether we sell them, whether it's actual like month to month, like whatever that looks like, all of that money that we make goes into one, paying the teams that are there. And then the profits go into a fund that funds all of our nonprofit initiatives, right? So we do things that help music in Boston. We help kids with dyslexia. We've helped feed poor kids across the world. Like we do all these different things with the money that we made. They're all profitable companies. Like they're all LLCs that make money, right?
So, okay, so how does salary work for you personally in a nonprofit?
Well, it's essentially a percentage of everything that we make.
Okay.
By all the for-profit companies.
And how do you set that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, it's essentially like what I'm worth.
Okay.
Right. So like for me, it's like one of those things where it's like everybody has a number.
You pay yourself worth your time.
Right. Okay. And everyone has a number, right? I know what kind of life I need to live to feel comfortable, to be happy, to like be able to do my best work, right? And I don't feel guilty if that's a higher number than what people need it to be, because for me, it's like I see the impact of the work that we're going to be creating, right? I see all of that, and I feel that me being paid to essentially create that makes sense.
I know it's a sticky space for some people when they for a nonprofit. They're like, okay, specifically, like I remember it was a big deal. Hillary Clinton's nonprofit. They're weaning like a ton of money off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and I mean, but it's like it's interesting because like if you think about it, like,
people got to get paid, man.
Yeah, everyone does. And if you think about like a Harvard University, right? Harvard University is a nonprofit institution, right?
That's not true, is it?
Yeah, they're nonprofit, bro.
Wow.
And the dude makes the guy that runs it, the president, makes $2 million a year.
How is Harvard a nonprofit? That place is a money funnel. My sister goes to Harvard.
Yeah, but it's a money funnel, but all of it is classified under nonprofit.
Wow.
Yeah, because we were talking with one of our Dennis was talking to one of our finance guys and having the same conversation. Like, how do you determine how much money someone can make, right? In a nonprofit CEO, executive director type of position. He was like, yeah, the dude at Harvard is literally making $2.1 million a year. He's just...
So it was when you started the Institute of Ethics, there was a time where you're like, okay, how much? Yeah.
So there's a couple ways that we thought about figuring it out. Like, do we just push all the money into the nonprofit and pay us out there, right? Or do I take a salary from each of the businesses that we start? Because I'm essentially acting as the CEO of all of those companies.
For sure.
Helping grow them, run them, and all of that.
So are you a consultant at that point?
At what point?
So you're like
No, CEO.
No, yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is, so you are building businesses. You and the monk acquired a bunch of startup, I'm assuming, right?
Created them all in-house.
Okay. So you already had money to go to start this thing.
Yep.
Word. And then you guys take the first idea that comes to your mind, like, yo, this would be a good business that might make some money.
Yeah, basically. And then...
Do you mind elaborating on what that business was?
On the first one?
Yeah.
So the two that we're running to start right now are Viral, which you are familiar with to an extent.
That's what it is. That was VYRL.
VYRL, Viral.
Yeah, I'm cooked, bro.
I got you.
Did you know it was that? I didn't either. I was like,
too funny.
Bureau? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, Viral.
Okay.
And then Bloom is the other one.
Both tech, like social media.
I mean, yeah, viral is way more social media. Essentially, that's a revenue driver. We sell growth services. We have the number 2 ranked growth team in the nation. We help people build their audience and create opportunity through social media, specifically.
He's
Instagram.
marketing.
A little.
Check out viral.
Check out viralcollective.com. But no, so like that's that side of it. Bloom is way more high tech, high potential, right? So like we have a couple different models that we do in terms of what type of businesses we start.
So what is the service Bloom offers?
So Bloom is retail analytics. So we created a proprietary hardware and software combination that actually tracks like physical retail stores the same way that Amazon tracks their online conversion rates.
Inventory.
More of like display product interaction. Yeah,
Okay.
we track the product interaction. So like if you're at Nike, right?
Consumer behavior type thing.
Yeah. So if you're at Nike and you see the shoe wall, Nike wants to know how many people pick up like the red Kobe's versus the blue.
How many people are looking at the Jordan section as opposed to the CrossFit section?
Exactly. And being able to use all that data in, I guess we created, I mean, we have all of our proprietary metrics that help build out really, really actionable data for retail managers to make more informed decisions.
So how did you create the technology? You just pulled in someone?
Yeah, so basically...
the way I'm picturing is it like, Toast, the company, and all these restaurants, it's just kind of like tracks inventory.
Right.
Is it the same thing with an iPad type thing?
Yeah, I mean, they can use an iPad. We have it on, it's a web app, so whenever you can do it on your phone, laptop, desktop, whatever. So one of the guys that works for us, Chris, is like a genius when it comes to tech. Him and I were on the phone like 6 months ago, whenever it was, talking about this Bluetooth beacon technology that we started to like play with and just see what we could do. He was super interested in it, like just kind of playing around. And then I started to ask questions about the tech and all of the capabilities and what we could build with it and all of that. And I just had that like light bulb moment where I was like, wait a sec, this is mad valuable. Like this is actually going to help a lot of people. So we've had conversations with 511, the Best Buys, like trying to build out what that product looks like in the best way.
Oh, so you're still in the growth phase in terms of building.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and I mean the whole institute's rather young. Like we've only been running it for a year and a half now.
Isn't it? It feels like a long time though, right?
Yeah, I literally I was talking with Dennis about it the other day, and I was like, it's like I've known you for a year and a half, but it feels like a decade. Like I feel like
because you're with a guy all the time.
Literally all the time, and we've had and the depth of our relationship is so vast. Like we have conversations about everything. Like he's like literally a brother. You know what I mean?
That's fire. Yeah, it's actually. Would you call him your mentor?
Yeah, in some aspects, and I hope that I'm his mentor in others. Yeah, like we both have different skill sets. We align on all the same things, but
I feel you in the way you're talking. I feel in a similar position as you. It's like you what you do is a totally different sector than kind of what I've been doing in the city, but you want to feel like older dudes respect you. And, like, you want to understand, like, yeah, I'm trying to learn from you, but at the same time, you feel, like, the need to hold your own kind of, right?
I mean, not really.
You don't feel that way?
I don't have that need, bro. I don't have that need.
Hey, man, I got a bigger ego than you then, clearly.
Yeah, well, that's what it is you have to remove ego, right?
I can't. Won't happen, bro. Good luck.
You got to do it. That's the key, bro.
It drives you, though.
No.
It does, dude.
It does. Maybe it drives you.
But humans have ego. It's
right.
Freudian
how do you
psychology.
Manage that in the best way possible.
Exactly.
Right? So like,
don't be a dick.
Ego to me means easing God out.
Dude,
right?
Vix, you got that?
Right, but that's what it is, bro. Like at the end of it, right? What it really comes down to is humility.
For sure,
you have to be humble, right? And I think we might have talked about this. It's being honest with self, others, and a higher power.
Absolutely.
Right. So when me going into these conversations with big shot guys, is it easy for me to be intimidated because this is a billionaire guy that runs Boston? Yeah.
For sure.
Right? But I have to be honest with myself, bro. I'm 22. I'm on my own journey.
Yeah.
Right? Where was he at 22? Like, I'm not in that comparison space, bro. Like, comparison breeds unhappiness. I'm not even down to even get into that realm.
For sure.
I just know my story. I know theirs. Like, we have different value that we can add to people. So there's no need for me to be like, I got to prove myself to people.
I get it. Is that something you nurtured over time?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It won't happen instantaneously.
No, you have to practice it, dude. All of these different things are like, they're huge concepts to grasp, and the only way that you can do it is if you practice that on the micro level, like day to day.
For sure.
Right.
So a crazy realization I think I had with Jack, I was like, yo, when it really comes down to it, everything that's happening internally is what's going to come. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you have like huge ideas on your head.
Absolutely.
That all your micro actions have been mapping towards that, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you feel like you've been on the way there.
Yeah, so for me,
Isn't that crazy?
It's like I just try to set my direction.
Mm-hmm.
Is like the biggest piece of it. Everyone tries to like lay out the entire plan, and that's good to an extent. But like for me, it's like I'm not cocky enough to think that I can outplan the universe, right? Like I know which direction I want to go. I'll take action every single day to get moving in that direction. But like when I was 15, 16, 17, I never was like, you know what I'm going to do when I'm 22, 21? I'm going to meet a monk. And we're going to create this business. And we're going
to get drunk at a bar.
No, you know what I mean, though? But,
Yeah,
like, you have no clue. Like, I had no clue what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Like, you never know. So it's like, let's set the direction, take massive action in that direction. And, like,
the Grant Cardone method.
Yeah, right? And just let it happen.
You
know
follow
what I mean?
Grant Cardone?
No, not really. I see his stuff
He's
on Explore.
hilarious, bro.
The whole 10X thing.
That's a real philosophy, though, what he's saying. It makes sense. But have you ever read Dianetics?
No.
That's the Scientology book. He pulled a lot of values from that. So you kind of sound like you had an experience with psychedelics. You ever try it?
No, never.
I haven't either.
Never even smoked weed. Like,
never smoked weed?
Bro. I didn't even drink until I was like 21 and a half, and I only drank for like 4 months.
Are you very religious?
Not religious, just very spiritual.
Yeah.
I take care of my body, bro. It's hard. I won't even take an Advil.
Not even.
Bro, like I don't drink coffee that often. Like I don't want to add anything. Yeah.
Big takes a sip of the Starbucks.
Right. That's just my game though. Like
yeah.
I don't feel the need to try to enhance or anything like who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna do my thing, and like if I need to stop it, like, but it's not like I don't feel guilty, right? Like if
didn't you meet the monk at a Starbucks?
Yeah.
But you weren't drinking coffee that day? Yeah.
No, hot chocolate, bro. For real. No, for real.
There's a little sugar in hot chocolate, though. A little caffeine.
Sugar is fine, but not caffeine, bro. That's my next kick is like I gotta keep cutting the sugar.
I cut it completely like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Ketogenic diet, not worth it.
Yeah.
Not sustainable. Do not try it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're a psycho just like me, bro. That's fire. That's fire.
You say that.
Yeah. I don't drink or smoke either.
Right.
I think, and mad people have like asked me like, yo, like you don't drink, you don't smoke. I'm like, yo, bro, to be honest, I just like to work.
Bro, that's literally it. Work is my drug.
It's fun as fuck.
I know.
Especially when you get shit done. You're like, yo, this is fire.
Well, yeah, because you start to see the momentum build, and you're like, wait a sec.
This is a little bigger than
fire. Yeah, it literally is fire. It's like, oh, here we go. Not just like, and then you don't wake up the next morning, and you're all like hungover.
The hangover is
it's the worst part. Yeah.
Getting drunk is fun sometimes. No bully.
Yeah, no, I'm with it.
I mean, you went to BU, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go? T's Pub?
Yeah, tits, bro.
Oh, Tits.
Tits, yeah. And now it's like Tavern Alston or something like that.
But you know, T's right next to.
Yeah, right next to it. That's the Tuesday night spot. I've never been.
So no one ever knows this, but they offered me to general manage that place.
Really?
And so I had gone in. I had just been like, yeah, I want to bring like a whole social media team in. Like, we'll get a videographer in here all the time. Blah blah blah. I was like, yo, we can make this the freshest fucking spot in Boston, because it's popping Tuesday, Thursday night, right?
Yeah. Tuesdays, Thursdays is over at Tits.
And that's right across from Brighton Music Hall?
Yeah, right there.
So that's a good segue. So that's Sam, from my knowledge, you've done a lot of work with Kai.
I mean, here and there. I know him through Charles Morris, if you know him. Yeah.
Word.
I've just done like consulting stuff for them, but like they're just friends, so.
Oh, word, okay.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that in terms of a business relationship with friends as opposed to?
Generally, I don't charge them.
Yeah.
For stuff. It's like, look, if we're going to hang out anyways, you're free to ask me your questions. Like, if you have it, I have that knowledge, right? Same with like Kai. If I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to learn more about the music space so that I can make more money, right? Dope. He'll just give me that information. He's going to be like, yo, I charge you $100 an hour for consulting. And I also trust that, like, if I need to get into the music space, that I can call them and be like, yo, let's see what we can do.
I'm trying to do this, yeah.
Right. And it's the same with them where they're like, yo, we need social help. We need X, Y, and Z. We need investor money. We need whatever.
A little marketing, a little brand strategy.
Whatever that is. Yeah. I'm happy to sit down. Like, I posted a conversation that I had with Kai and Charles.
That's the only reason I said that, because I just saw the video.
Yeah. So we just literally grabbed lunch in Seaport or dinner or whatever it was. And just chatted it up at Tomo, down in Seaport.
This place Jerry go. I always drop Jerry off. Yo, that Legals in Seaport's popping.
Yeah, Seaport's huge, bro. But no, that's that spot in that hotel right there, Tomo. If you can, dude, that's the hidden trick, bro. If you can't find a spot,
there's no parking in Seaport, dude.
Oh yeah, you just got to go down the street, down at the very end of Seaport.
Oh, near the Expo Center.
By Blue Hills Pavilion.
Yeah.
Down there, right. If you go past there, there's like a bunch of parking.
Like right near the Harpoon building.
Right over there. There's a huge parking structure right there.
So that's another thing. You don't even know. Like, you actually don't know how psycho I am. I really showed up to Sam's office without knowing him, but I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
The place is a fortress.
Yeah.
Like, what the
You
hell?
got to do it, bro. I'm literally about to move to a spot.
Oh, you don't like that office? It looks fresh.
No, we're staying there. We're staying at that office. But I'm talking like my apartment. Bro.
Oh,
Like,
word.
I'm about to move to like one that has security and stuff more than it does now. 'Cause you never know who's gonna roll up.
I know. At least I'm a good dude. I'm not an actual lunatic.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, but when I had seen videos of the space, I was like, yo, this is fire. Did you design that?
No, I did not. Dennis's fiance is Stephen Favreau, top 5 interior designer like in the world. Amazing, amazing guy.
Jack, you got to see this space.
It's
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Jack is interested in interior design, so
Oh, sick. Yeah, definitely check it out.
look up. It's the Innovation Center.
The Favorless Factory.
Oh, that's what he called it.
Favorless Factory.
Favreau, like
Yeah, like
F-A-V?
Stephen Favreau.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So he's amazing. Hotels, residential. He did the IMAX theater in Honolulu. Like,
It's a
amazing
crazy
guy.
art.
Yeah.
Creating a space.
Right. And he's on.
Ask
real-
John Scott. Look at this room.
Right. He's got that nano leaf on there. I like that.
Oh, you're familiar with the company?
Yeah.
I'm just newly like getting hip to them. You
Yeah,
gotta get
they're
an
pretty
app
cool.
to activate the lights. But if you look at the window closely, you see how slanted it is, dude.
Right. Too funny. But yeah, no, that whole space over there, Steven did an amazing job.
Yeah.
We have 11,000 square feet. He redid the entire thing.
It just like seems like spacious.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. The way that he mixed open concept with also like the intimacy of having these vignettes around the space that people can have private conversations. You walk in there and I like to think I don't take it for granted. But when I'm gone for 3 or 4 days and I walk in there on a Monday morning, I go, wow, like I'm blessed to be here and I'm blessed to know somebody like that who can create a space that literally brings your energy and brings your vibration up the moment you walk through the door.
He didn't plan on you guys renting out the space, right?
Well, not renting it. He's partners with us. So
word,
Dennis
okay.
and Steven are both partners in life, but also partners in that space.
Oh, word.
So
okay.
both of our businesses live there and work there together.
And okay, so did the space itself happen after you guys had the idea for the business?
No, it was already in motion.
Oh, word. That's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, it was already in motion as a space for Dennis and Steven, as like the sanctuary for the city, for creativity, ingenuity.
Alley-oop,
faith,
slam dunk.
right? And then it was just like, let's fill it with impactful businesses. And like I said, it's like the universe, dude. Like stuff falls into place. Like
It's
you
crazy.
set the direction, it literally will happen.
But it never happens that you expect it.
No, and you can't have your own timeline to it.
That's tough.
It's hard.
Especially for kids our age.
Absolutely, because all of us are like, we're putting in 5-6 years of work, and like, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? Why is this not
Just
happening?
patience is tough, dude.
Yeah,
That's one of your issues?
yeah, because I want to go all the time,
Exactly.
right? And it's patience on like a bunch of levels, right? Like my thing is, one, I have to be patient with myself, right? And like one of my dentists was talking to me about it, and Steven the other day, is like, one of my big things is I put myself under a microscope, bro. Like I sit here and I feel so much pressure to like go, be successful, do it. But like all that does is it drains my energy and pushes it away from being productive and pushing like the envelope forward.
It's weird.
Right.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So like that's the big thing with patience. And obviously it's patience with other people. Like my favorite thing is like I don't like balls being in my court. So if someone needs something from me to do their job, I'm always like, all right, toss the ball in my court, I'll get it back. Let's go. All day. But then like when it's in their court, I get not upset, but like anxious about it because I can't do anything and I just literally have to be still. Mm-hmm. And I've struggled with it for a long time.
Yeah, so as I had said, I had sold out the Middle East this summer. And I told the studios, like, well, that's nothing. Big deal for me, man. Because I sold 500 tickets.
Respect. It's a good move.
And so it was like a night before, and I literally had felt on a marketing tip I had done everything possible.
Right.
Like there was actually nothing else I could do, and I feel you. I like had never felt so helpless.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's out of my control now.
Yeah, it's literally like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have no.
But then the universe
literally
will
no
toss
control.
you a bucket.
Right. It'll throw the oop. All you got to do is grab the ball.
How much does positive thinking and positivity align with a lot of the mindset you've been talking?
It's essential.
Is it?
You have to be positive. Yeah, because like if you're gonna sit there, you're either gonna drive yourself crazy, or you can sit there and enjoy that moment, which is like it's a lot easier said than done.
Especially if you're hardwired to go.
Right, and that's how probably both of us are set up. Like, I want to just rip all the time, right?
See, Jack's good at that. Jack can like settle and enjoy it, but it's a dichotomy with me and him sometimes. You feel me?
Yeah, and I'm like, I just want to hit the gas. But then it's like, all right, I can't be in control all the time, but like, why would I be upset about something that I'm not in control of? Like, why do I do that to myself?
I get what you're saying. It's easier. What you're saying is easier said than done.
Easier said than done. I still struggle with it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and preach like this is what you have to do. Like, I still day to day, I get down. I'm like, oh fuck, bro. Like, on myself, on the everything. Like, I get upset, and I have to be like, wait a sec. Look at what the universe has given me for the last 7 years. Like, waves, and it's all fine, bro. Like, it'll end up coming out right. So like, why sit there and put yourself through pain of worrying and stressing out if you know at the end of the day you're gonna be fine? It all ebbs and flows anyways.
So, as I was saying, this is gonna be wildly unprofessional, but I have to use the restroom desperately.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you, bro?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Bix, you want anything when I get up? Let's keep it rolling, because then I'll just cut out the portion. Thanks, bro. That's hilarious. Bro, it's a double shot espresso.
Makes you move, right?
Oh my god, I'm shaking.
All about that video DM grind all day. What? Video DMs, bro. Video DMs? Yeah. Dude, I honestly thought that was a weird idea. It's all day. Yo, what's up, Joel? Be sure to check that link that I sent you before. Sign up. I'll make sure Jason takes care of it.
Great dudes having an awesome time.
That's right. But yeah, just go ahead and do that, and I'll get your email and we'll link you up. Much love. You made it in my video DM.
That's fire.
That's right.
So we were just talking about. So I might honestly cut that. I might not. That was kind of hilarious.
That's fine.
What I had seen. Am I on your wire?
Nah, you're good, bro.
What I had seen in a Joe Rogan comment. Joe Rogan, as you know, is like the standard for podcasts.
Right.
He was like, yo, Joe Rogan is the most committed dude of all time. He literally never gets up to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, that's psychotic, bro. This dude runs like hundreds of podcasts.
All the time.
You listen to him?
No.
He's fire.
I'm not a big content consumer.
Yeah, that's strange to me.
Like, I don't use Instagram like that.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Why? You just not fucking with it?
It's not worth my time. Right?
It's where everyone's attention is, though. As you know.
Well,
Isn't this your job?
Yeah, that's why I use it as a tool.
Yeah.
But I can't sit there and fall victim to what's making everything else work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I get it. You want to be full on the gas, but you're also human.
Yeah. But I get my fun other places.
Elaborate.
Working. Like, I love that, dude. I'll use social media to like answer DMs and have real conversations, but I'm not sitting there scrolling through the pictures of sorority girls and like basketball highlights, right? Like, that doesn't do anything for me. So I'm like, I don't consume content in that way.
I get it. But so from my understanding, viral is you try to grow social medias for other people, though, right?
Yeah.
So don't you have to kind of understand what's common for content right now and what's trending?
I completely understand it.
But then you have to consume it to understand it, right?
No, you have to have a team that can consume it so that you can understand it. And the thing,
so you got a bunch of people helping you out.
Yeah, and a lot of it is also, bro, like, a lot of people don't understand influence dynamics, right? And that's what we use. I don't care about what the content popularity is. I want to help people build real relationships using social media as the tool, as the platform to be able to build a network at scale.
Okay.
That's how you create real opportunity, right? There's a bunch of people. You could post a pretty picture. Cool. Go viral, whatever. Awesome. I just had a client do it, right? Like I literally had a client do it. Like they own
Booty pic?
No, not a booty pic, a travel video.
Okay.
But they just went crazy viral, up 17,000 followers in 48 hours. Like awesome. But like, what does that actually mean? And that's the part that we focus on. Anybody, dude, I could get you 10,000 followers overnight. Like that's not the issue. That's never the issue. But it's building real relationships with those people and creating tangible offline opportunities. That's the key. And people miss it, bro. Nobody wants to focus on that. But that's what you have to focus on if you're trying to be successful.
Exactly. And I think it's just like, yo, what if the internet goes down?
Right.
How many people have you made friends with? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, right. That's what it needs to be. It's like, how many people will remember you when Instagram dies?
But there's a space, there's a weird space where it's like Instagram growth, there's inauthentic ways to do it. So how do you navigate that as a business?
I mean...
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what people consider inauthentic. Everyone has their own definition of it, right? So, like, doing shout-out for shout-out campaigns, right? Some people see that's inauthentic. Doing follow and unfollow, some people think that's inauthentic.
Do you think it's inauthentic?
I think it's very authentic, right? I grew up, dude. I literally, when I started on Instagram, I had 856 followers. And I sat there for 6 hours a day, sometimes 8, literally following, liking, commenting, doing all of this stuff manually for an entire summer to get to 13,000 followers, right, in 4.5 months. I literally sat there all, like, forever doing that. And all it was doing was building real relationships. If you're doing it blindly and not putting in the effort to, like, actually have relationships with these people, when they follow you, you should send them a DM, a video DM, right? Like, put out good stories, put out good content so that they're not just following you for the sake of it, that you're starting to build that tangible relationship. What we did is we just built a team that can handle all of that 6 to 8 hours a day for people. So we can get eyes on their content and then help them optimize who they are, what their brand is, what their content play is, all of those elements so that they can build those relationships better.
I get it. But so when you're on your phone 6 to 8 hours a day, you're actively following people then unfollowing them?
Yep.
And that's the name of the game?
Yeah. It's how do you get as many interactions out as possible?
So
right?
you unfollow them if they don't follow you back, or you just unfollow them?
I unfollow them no matter what. The value, if they find the
but
value...
Isn't that like...
No, because if they find the value, like it's like, if people find the value in the number, then it's inauthentic. But it's not about the number. It's using that follow as a tool to have a conversation. And if they get mad at me for unfollowing, then I don't want a relationship with them because they value their follower number more than the relationship. Dude, I don't follow you, but I answer all your DMs. Why does that follow matter so much?
Because it's a social construct. It's a dynamic.
Social construct.
But what I'm saying, isn't that what you're building? You're building larger...
You're building relationships.
I get it, but like, how does a client equate your success for them? Is it
the number of followers that they achieve.
Exactly.
And the number of relationships that they build. That's the key. It's like, like I said, I could get you 10,000 followers overnight, but if it doesn't do anything for you, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Like for us, it's tangible opportunities, whether that's brand work, whether that's like affiliate deals and income, right? Whatever they're trying to achieve. And we literally ask everyone, what's your goal? Like, what do you want? So that we can do that in the best way. It's using the platform. It's using the follower numbers. It's using the relationships that we can build to effectively create those opportunities for people.
Okay.
Is the key. Follow and follow is just one of the tactics that we use with along with the skill set that we use.
So would you be pissed off if someone followed you?
No. Dude, I lost 17,000 followers when I stopped posting for 3 months. I literally don't care.
Well, you already kind of got a big following regardless.
Yeah, but like I lost at that point, that was 20% of my following. And I lost all of them.
You could see how it kind of pisses people off though, right?
Yeah, if they find value in that number, then yeah. But
a lot of people do.
That's totally cool, and that's fine, and that's where part of my mission is like helping people use Instagram healthily. Healthfully.
That's right. Healthily. Right.
Yeah, healthily. Right, because
fresh, clean.
People try to use that number. How many like it's the whole social media like disease.
Space.
Yeah, it's a disease that comes with it. It's like people get addicted to that dopamine hit of like, oh shit, I got 400 likes. That's dope. And then you mean one person not doing that is going to like ruin your day? Like we need to be able to use these tools in like a healthy way while creating opportunities. And that's what all of Viral is about. Is like we want to help people build healthy relationships and use social media to create opportunity, not rely on social media as a sense of self-worth. Mm-hmm. And it's a hard conversation to have with people because it's very easy for them to be like, nah, bro, I don't get sad when people unfollow me. It's like, then why do you have the app that tells you, right? Why do you check that app every day? Like it obviously matters to you.
So just back to the unfollow and follow thing and what you're saying.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like it's like a booster for it's like a one-ended agreement. It's like, hey, I'm going to follow you, then unfollow you. You're still going to follow me, so then my ratio is going to increase.
As by the industry standard, yeah, but not how Viral does it.
Okay.
Right? We're so focused on that relationship. We want you to
But wouldn't
follow.
you be fucking a relationship though? Like
Why?
if you say, hey man, I love what you're doing, great, I'm going to follow you, and then I unfollow you.
I mean, they can follow me and then we can continue that conversation. That's the difference, right? It's like, for me, people have called me out on unfollowing them all the time. And I go, yeah, but I will answer every single one of your DMs and help you get to where you need to be. And if that's not enough for you, if you really need the follow to cement this relationship, then you're not someone that I want to work with anyways. Like, I'm so straight up about it, right? And it's hard because so many people have this common conception of what follow unfollow means. Right, and they're like, "Oh, that's like a hacky way to grow," and no, it's a hacky way to get eyes on content. But after that, it's on the person to build relationships. We are really, really good. We use hyper targeting to find exactly who you need to get your eyes on.
How do you distinguish that?
The hyper targeting stuff, circles of influence. It's all the influence dynamic stuff, the stuff that I've created over the last 7 years. Understanding like what actually goes into building this. It's like network effects, right? It's like, what's the 6 degrees of separation and stuff like that, like understanding this person follows this person, I have that connection in common. Like there's different ways to make that happen so that circles come aligned and you can find a very, very specific group of people that will actually enjoy your content.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if you felt this. How long have you been in Boston now?
4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. Boston, there's about a 2 degrees of separation.
Oh yeah, you know everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
At least I'm finding there's new pockets of people that I'm
Right.
starting to understand. I mean, I'm sure there's people that I'll show you that you haven't seen. You'll show me that I haven't seen before. But the city is very cliquey.
Right.
You think it's beneficial for business?
If you can,
For our age, for our demographic, at
yeah,
least.
if you can infiltrate one of the niches, for sure. But
But
overall,
the entry is a little tougher, don't you think?
yeah, entry is tougher, guaranteed. That's always going to be an issue, specifically in Boston because of the culture that's here. They're not always the most welcoming to something that's new. Something
That's fire.
fresh.
Let's fucking go.
Right. That's like not always what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
once you're
man,
in, you're in. And that's like for us, like I'm just betting heavy. Like I know that once I'm in, even though I'm new.
Yeah.
Right. Versus LA, it's like, bro, we'll work with anybody that can add value. Let's just rip. Let's see how it goes.
You think it's more communal out there?
Define communal. Because you can make an argument that cliquey is more communal.
For
versus
sure.
Like,
Well, Boston is extremely communal.
yeah.
That's why I think we had talked about this a little bit. I think music's going to be huge here because it's such a communal city. I think entertainment's just the last leg.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, and that's like what we've noticed, like with our stuff is that I came out here as a creative, right, photographer, videographer, whatever.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and like I just came to school for Boston for school, but I was looking for more creative people, more music people, and there was just like non-existent.
Mad divided.
Yeah, and again, cliquey, hard to find your way in, bro. Like it took me 3 years to get into the studio with somebody, right?
Welcome back.
Thanks, brother. But yeah, so it's like that. It's like but like again, it's once you're in, there's a community there, but there's like a glass ceiling for creativity in this city.
How do you destroy it?
Keeping people here.
Yeah, I'm totally on the same page as you.
Everybody that's a creative that starts to see success leaves because there's no infrastructure.
There's no money.
Right. You could be moderately successful in music in Boston. You could also move to LA or New York and become quite a bit more successful.
Financially.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah.
But it comes at a cost to the city.
For sure. How do you incentivize? That's just what I've been saying every episode that we'll have an artist up here. I'm like, yo, there's no I in one night made the most possible money at the independent level you can make in music by throwing a sold out show there.
Right.
That's not sustainable.
Right.
How does the market grow?
Unity. Boston has a lot of assets. There's
There's everything.
Every single person that you need to know to be able to make the music scene happen here can be here or is here already, and we need to create a way to bring them all together. You know, there's, like you said, it's really cliquey. So like someone might get a foothold in one area, and then they need, like, let's say they get a foothold in recording and streaming and stuff, but they need shows. Like, how do you bring like Live Nation New England into that meeting and be like, look, we need to bring all these resources together. We have huge brands like Converse and Reebok should be back.
Yeah, this is one thing we were talking about at Starbucks. Yeah,
like all of these different assets are here, but how do you combine them all to actually get them to where they need to be?
I think Converse did something with Vintage Lee. I don't know if you know her. 47 brand does a lot, the hat brand.
Yep.
But yeah, that was another thing we talked about. Like you feel like if you want to assert yourself in a position in the growth of Boston music and like where it's headed, because I think we both know it's going somewhere.
Right.
You want to be in like the high end business meetings.
Yeah, I want to be in the meetings with like the CMO of Converse, right? Being like, yo, let's revamp the Rubber Track studio that you guys have just sitting there, and bring
What
in
is that?
Rubber Tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally built over at their headquarters a full studio. Like
What type of studio?
music, like recording, like music
I
studio.
didn't even know that.
Right. And then they changed CEOs, and the one guy didn't care so much about the music initiative, so they don't do it. It literally sits there vacant. Beautiful studio. Right. But like that's a key piece. Like they should be pulling people in. They'd be able to, I mean, the value for Converse would be silly. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. They have enough
content-
money to do it.
Exactly. So it's like there's the resources here, but it just sits there.
Can I be honest with you though? I feel like, so you're familiar with Cousin Stiz, I'm sure. I feel like there's appeal, total appeal in this city, and I kind of think it's why people are really starting to gravitate towards this, just on being at the independent level.
Absolutely.
So how do you navigate that line without being big money, but
Right.
also?
Well, I'm not trying to bring in I'm not trying to bring in like record labels, right?
But I
trying
think the city
to-
might need it.
I mean, to get it on the map, maybe, right? And maybe we need a couple stars that come out of Boston and like I mean, go big, like Post Malone level big, and like have deep roots here. The issue is
Can't
that
bet on that though, right?
right, but that's like it's brutal because it's like, all right, how do we manufacture that? And I know people that are and in the process of doing that. So when that happens, it'll be awesome. But in the meantime, I think we can empower those independents by giving them the resources. Maybe not that a major label can give them, but that help them along their career enough to give them the infrastructure and ecosystem here in Boston to stay. And that's a huge piece. Like even if they have
money,
access to stuff, dude, like if they can have access to the Converse studio, not that they need to be signed to whatever it would be, Converse Records, whatever. Like they don't need
Converse
to.
could do that easily though.
Easy, yeah. And that's what it needs to be, but it just sits there. Right.
That's what this I'll have to show you. So there's this guy named Sean Milliken. He runs For Boston in the North End. He was saying the same thing. He was like, I've been trying. He runs a streetwear brand. Like a lot of Celtics players wear it, a lot of the Patriots players wear it. And he was like, listen, like I want to do more with these huge sneaker companies. There's Nike's has a big office, New Balance,
Yep.
Reebok, Converse.
Right. All of them are right there.
There's a Puma. I think there's a Puma office too.
Not sure, but probably wouldn't surprise me.
Isn't it surprising that they have taken no action yet?
At least in that space. And like Converse is the perfect one, right? Like Converse started out as a basketball shoe, like that's how they were, and now they shifted into streetwear and into music, into like what's considered like culture,
Trendy.
right? Yeah, like that's their space. Like what they should be doing is betting heavy on creating content around independent musicians, right? Like create that culture for them and have it all be branded on a Converse and push that content out to another level, right? They already have the physical space for it.
And they have the brand loyalty and
Right.
brand recognition to do it.
And the money.
Yeah.
Like that's not the hardest thing for them to push out a campaign about.
It's not tough for them to
you
say,
know,
hey, here's 2 big independent artists we like in Boston. Here's 50 racks. Let's go make something.
right, and then have all of it branded out, the entire process, whether it's vlog style, whether it's whatever, with their branding on it, and just let it rip. Like it's a huge play for them,
So how would you facilitate the Institute of Ethics into that?
Into that, I mean,
or would that be a separate venture?
Separate. I mean, it would all play into it, right? So like the Institute just owns a bunch of businesses, right? So it would be one of those businesses that we could slide into.
So it's like a holding company is the
Yeah,
Institute.
yeah.
Okay.
And then all the money goes up into it that we use for the nonprofit side.
Okay.
Yeah.
This question is going to deviate a little bit, but how much did you hate school's guts?
School?
Yeah. Because I can tell you probably weren't present in class, man.
Yeah.
Your mind was elsewhere.
Yeah, I wasn't there, which is why I didn't hate it that much.
Oh, you just never showed up.
I mean, I would go, right, and I would sit there.
Oh, whack.
Yeah.
So Jack is part-time at Champlain College.
Yeah.
He hates his guts, too.
Yeah. It's tough because when you're in the entrepreneurship space, everyone wants you, especially when you leave school, everyone wants you to go on like this anti-college rant, right? Like, oh, fuck school, you don't need it, whatever. And I think to some degree that's totally fair.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
right.
but it totally depends. Like I didn't like BU for the sake of the education. And when I looked at it, like, and I judged it or assessed it by educational value, I hated it. Mm-hmm. But what it did for me was my character, my network, sure. It pushed me outside my comfort zone. Like who would push me to be as a person, right? Moving to Boston, right? I appreciate every single moment that I spent in the classroom.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, the classroom, no. We were good up until the classroom point.
Got you. But I appreciate what Boston University did for me, and I appreciate what school does for people. It just is that I would never go in like a generalistic like fuck school. Never. But what I would say is everybody needs to be much more aware of what the value they're looking for out of that education is and like what they're paying to get that.
Absolutely.
It needs to be just reconsidered across the board instead of just like college right now is seen as what the path needs to be, and it's just not right.
Terrible, awful, whack. Well, I concur. So I went to Providence College.
Right.
Like socially, and like in terms of like character and like learning work ethic, totally learned that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I question, is that just a matter of maturing and getting older? Would that happen in any space?
Right.
I also loved the fucking kids, and they gave me an audience, which was huge.
Right.
But, like, dude, what it comes down to in this game we call capitalism is like, yo, are you going to be the best at your job? Or are you going to do it the best? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got to teach kids that. They have to teach kids how to sell, too.
Right.
Like, how important has that been?
Oh, being able to sell?
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I never would consider myself a salesperson.
But you are.
But anyone that talks to me is like, you're like one of the best salespeople. And I was
Yeah.
like, sure. But yeah, no, I mean, the thing with college is that it was built, right? This whole higher education bubble was built really in like the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Where what they needed was kids to come out of college and fit perfectly into businesses, right?
Yeah, it's conforming.
Yeah, it's teaching you, do this, show up at this time, do this thing, here you go, here's your paycheck, leave, right? Which is where the capitalists, the true capitalists, need those people.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And that's for me, it's like, I mean, in my freshman year, I'd try to get all my friends to like get in the entrepreneurship grade, like, and do that thing. But if they didn't want it,
it's not also genetic in everybody.
right? And that's cool. And what I realize is, thank God people want to go to college. Thank God people want to get a job because I want to hire them.
Yeah.
And I need them to be able to show up on time, do the work that I assign them,
Do some of the whack work.
and leave. Like, it's just part of, like, people that do that are so essential to the economy and so essential to it that I can't hate on it.
Absolutely
You know what
not.
I mean?
And I'm totally with you. I think everybody who also enjoyed their education and what they learned, great.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you got to realize you are paying a ridiculous amount of money that if you have a sense that like, yo, this 220 racks that's going to my schooling, I could probably put into a business I want to start up.
Yeah, but then,
Probably consider that.
But that kid that's trying to be an accountant at PwC.
Oh, he gave it the PwC tip.
but you know
all
what?
my
But,
friends
like,
are working there.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like, then it is worth it. If that's their end goal, then they get a positive ROI on that 220.
For sure.
But for people like us that don't want to go into
But don't forget that fifth year. They do a fifth year, most of them.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, the 220, 28, whatever it is, they get a positive ROI over time to do their thing. It's an investment for them, right?
So
and
there was
paying more gives them a better education, which gets them to promotions faster. Like, it works. It's a model that works, just not for people like us because we're like, 220 is a new company that we could start and blow to $1 million, right?
For sure. And then there's also a certain point where it's like, yo, just make sure you're happy, man.
Absolutely. And some people are mad happy working a 9 to 5, being able to like come home and not think about it, versus like you and I are happy thinking about work 24/7 from the moment we wake up until we go to sleep.
I wonder if it's a ginger thing.
I don't know.
You ever thinking about that?
No.
You don't think? I mean, I met a lot of psycho gingers, man. You better watch your mouth, bro.
Yeah. That hurt, bro.
When you had dropped out of school, were you
the first time?
Oh yeah. Do you want to elaborate?
Oh yeah. Well, I dropped out.
Path.
Yeah. Well, I went to BU.
Word.
I was there for a year. I dropped out and moved to Newark, New Jersey to work with Gerard Adams.
Who's that?
He's the co-founder of Elite Daily.
Oh, word.
He sold it for $48 million at the end of 2015.
You see a lot of like Facebook articles.
All the Facebook articles for millennials specifically are.
Yeah, that shit was huge.
Yeah, it was huge. So they sold it, and he started a social impact tech accelerator in Newark. So I joined him there, and then
doing kind of the same thing you're doing now.
Yeah, building businesses, helping build the companies that they had through there, building my own stuff. But yeah, and then I didn't really vibe with it anymore and decided to go back to school.
To Boston.
And then I tried to do school again for another year, and it just didn't.
You weren't there, man.
I wasn't. I was there for the first semester that I was back, and then I was like, wait a second.
What'd you do, 2 semesters?
Yeah, 2 semesters back. I did 2 semesters when I started, 2 semesters when I got back.
Was it you 22?
Yeah, just turned 22.
So do you know Johnny Glenn?
I do know Johnny Glenn.
He was just up here.
Yeah.
He makes amazing music.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Radioactive white lightning. You remember he was playing that shit? Bro, the song hits, though. I was telling him, he was recording in this booth. I was like, yo, bro, that shit sounded terrible.
Right.
From outside, without hearing the track to it. Then I heard the track to it. I was like, yo, this dude's nice.
Yeah. No, he's a cool guy. I was in his music video. I forget what song.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was on the boat.
You also realize college offers a good audience to try some shit.
And that's what it is that if you can leverage, you have such a captive audience of 18 to 22-year-olds. If you're in a position to take advantage of that, do it.
Yeah, we did. It was
absolutely.
sick.
Absolutely. It's an easy way to blow it up.
Especially if you're a good dude.
Right.
It's like, just be a good dude, man.
That's literally the key, bro. Kindness pays.
So I'm gonna get kicked out of here in the next 20. So I want to make sure I hit on like 1 or 2 things. Yep. I think something of value, hashtag value for the business boys here.
Yep.
That we can give is, how do artists in Boston better market themselves via social channels? What have you seen, and how can it improve?
Yeah. So what I've seen is a lot of trying to create insane content, just put it out there and look like you're the shit, which I don't think is the right move. I think there's a place for that for sure, but it's not what the primary should be. The big thing that I'm urging artists to do, especially as they're coming up, is to get their audience involved in the process. Put the different like beats up on your Instagram story and ask which one people like more, right? Send out DMs every time you get I told Johnny to do it. Every time you get a new follower, send them a DM and be like, yo, I'm working on this song right now. I'd love to get your feedback on it.
Artists have a sense of insecurity, a lot of them.
That's fine, but they're going to have to get over it if they want to actually do something.
It's a fact.
Right? And that's like, bro, I could preach social media marketing tactics all day, but if they're not going to do it, then what's the point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, it even happened with Kai. Like, I told Kai exactly what he needed to do to get, like, 100,000 streams, and then he didn't do it. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. No sweat. Like, you just have to make that decision to do it.
There's yeah. But Boston right now, the market, well, like most music, the market is extremely oversaturated. So how does someone be individual in the market?
By being vulnerable.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Bro, everyone sits here and tries to front that they're the shit. Everyone tries to show that they're worth it, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone tries to put out this face that shows that they've made it. Think about, like...
They want to manifest some of it.
Think about like this, bro. Like, I've been in the study of influence dynamics, right? There's people that are influencers and there's people that are influential, right? Think about, like, The Rock or, like, Oprah, right? Like, The Rock is very, very open about the fact that he had $7 to his name, right? And see what that did to him and his career. He's truly an influential person, right? And I would argue that the influencers online are like showing their best life, traveling the world with the nice cars, the hot girls, whatever.
No creativity in it.
But they're not actually influencers. Like they don't create any real. They might get people to buy your bracelet for $7 online. That's great. But like the Oprahs, The Rock, like these big names are so focused on being vulnerable that they share their whole story, and people need to start that early. Bro, because like everything in social media comes down to two things. One, it's creating trust, and the basis of that is credibility and relatability. I talk about it in that video with Kai. I told that to him straight to his face. I said, look, you have good music. You did a song with Wiz. That's credible. 100%. But now you got to open
great
up.
Song too.
It's a great song, right? But you have
Girl,
to
you make it look easy.
Right, exactly. But you got to open up the relatability side. Like, be vulnerable. Right? Talk about it in your Instagram story. Be like, yo, I'm really, really struggling with this beat right now. Like, I don't know what I want to do with this song. Like swipe up to send me a DM to, like, tell me about your love story. Like, for real, like, if you can bring people into it, that alone will set you apart. Because people are going to care a lot more. It's a great song. But could you imagine if 1,000 people felt that they were involved in creating it? Like, you're building crazy, massive, loyal audiences.
That's why podcasts are so big, because of transparency.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's unedited. I know what you're saying. Like, you know, just be honest.
100%. Transparent.
There's a certain sense of consumers when it comes to music that want their artists to seem like they're larger than life, though. You know?
Who wants them to see that?
I mean, I think people look at, like, Lil Wayne saying, like, yo, that's the GOAT, that's the God.
Right.
You kind of, some consumers want the artists they love to be on a higher pedestal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How do you maneuver that?
Well, you're gonna have to get to be on a higher pedestal to be able to do that, right? The reason why he can do that is because of who he is. Like, look at what his career has
created,
right? But like some dude that gets 10,000 streams on every song he puts out isn't there yet, right?
And that's a lot in Boston right now, you know.
Facts, yeah.
10 racks is a lot,
right? But that's what it is. It's like that's the kind of stuff that like those people need to, if they're trying to get ahead of the game, it's building a hyper loyal audience. It's like, think about like what happened with like 21 Pilots. They had such a small, like cult following because they were so real about everything. They were so straight up, right? And they put out good music.
It can get exhausting though, I'm sure. Sure, but that's the game. So is everything. You gotta do it.
Anything worth doing is exhausting.
For sure.
Right? But that's literally what that comes down to, is like you can create a cult of people, right? It's like the idea of 1,000 true fans, right? You have 1,000 true fans that'll pay you $100 a year. It's 100 G's every year. And that's good money. Right?
I also think a lot of these artists have to understand, like, rap right now is like, it's like a TV show, you know?
Right.
The characters are winning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like a lot of artists in Boston, you got to start, they have to stop being so divisive, and they have to start working together. I know it sounds like totally hoorah.
Right.
But if it moves in a wave, someone with bigger money is going to say, here, take it.
And then everybody wins.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to say.
It's that whole philosophy of like, yo, having 20% of $100 is better than having 100% of $10, right? Like,
exactly.
Like, if we can create a shift in the entire like,
that's what I've been saying, the wave.
Everybody, yeah, exactly. Everyone's over here sitting there like, I want to put Boston on the map. Like, I want to do it, right? Even I like caught myself doing that. Like, I want to be the entrepreneur that puts Boston on the map when it comes to
I think you said it to me in Starbucks.
Yeah, like, I want to be that guy.
For sure.
Right? But like, what it is like,
it'll be less effective.
I just want to spark the wave. I want to spark the momentum in that shift so that people start to think about Boston in that way. Right? Like, that's what we need to do. But it's not going to be me. Right? Like, it wasn't just Martin Luther King that took that entire move. It wasn't just him.
It needs to be a leader, though. That's right.
Oh, absolutely. There needs to be a leader. There needs to be someone that's willing to take that risk, like he did. Right? And like, I'm not comparing myself to him at all, but I'm willing to take that step forward and be like, all right, let's try to create social impact startups. Right? Let's find a way to help the world. Right? Let's not fight capitalism. Let's embrace it in a positive way. But I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. And neither is Dennis and Steven or Chris and anybody that works with us. Like, we're trying to build this team that can bring in all of the brightest minds, all of the best hearts. Like, we want humble people, right? With good hearts that are like brilliant, that can come together to create this, right? And it's a movement. It's the
Good
same.
luck.
Thank you. It's the same thing that has to happen in music, though.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I get it. I think maybe me and you will have a conversation in 3 years. Like, damn, bro.
Right.
Look what we predicted. That's fire.
That's right. And we'll look back and we'll play this.
We'll say, we were right. We were right, fuckhead. The whole time.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like one thing of value I can provide you is I got the ear. You feel me?
Cool.
Because I'm in the hood, man. I walk
Right.
around. So I can tell you kind of what's going on. You did say something to me in Starbucks, which I don't know if you want to talk about it. It was involving framing him. Are you allowed to speak about that? Or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be
Got some
news
stuff working
news for
on it.
Sam later.
Right.
Glad I addressed it like that. Additionally, I want to make sure you get your plug off. Like, yo, this is my IG, Twitter,
Oh, my IG.
SoundCloud, Institute of Ethics, viral, was Blouin.
Yeah.
Jack, how'd I do podcast-wise? Good? I'm getting better, man. How'd I do? Did I do okay?
Yeah, I'm with it, bro.
Nice.
I'm with it. But yeah, no, everyone can just hit me up on Instagram at Samuel.Thompson.
That's your only platform?
Bro, that's all I care about. I put out good content there. I share real value, and I have all my audience consolidated in one place. You know? That's it.
So no Twitter, nothing?
I mean, I have it to, like, keep up with the news, but, like, I'm not posting anything on there.
Okay, so you just want me to follow you on IG.
Just IG.
At Samuel.Thompson.
At Samuel.Thompson. They can hit me with a DM, and I'll guarantee a response.
Fear the beard.
Fear the beard. That's right.
And do you want anybody listening to possibly look up viral or any of that stuff?
Honestly, just send me a DM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send me the DM.
I mean, they can look at viralcollective.com and, like, go through it.
Word.
But hit me in the DMs. I'd rather add value, like, person to person than just, like, blanket statement that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we also agree on one thing? There's no more effective marketing than face-to-face.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we do it. It's networking, right? But what we
sure.
do is networking at scale in a really, really effective way, so you can get 1,000 conversations done instead of 2.
Mm-hmm. Sam's a businessman. He's a marketer. Okay, so listen, this is how we start and end the show.
Okay.
Say, hi, my name is, and this is my golden hour. Also, that wristband and these stickers are all for you.
Oh,
We also got another gift for you. Biggs, you're hiding it? Nice. That's my fucking dog.
and this
Hi.
is my golden hour.
Directly after no break. Hi, my name is, and that was my golden hour. Because in the editing, the post-production process, this is will be at the front. That is will be at the end.
Got it.
So whenever you're ready.
So I just say, hi, my name is Samuel Thompson, and this is my golden hour. And
I told you I can only tell you once, bro.
What?
I said I'm only going to tell you once how to do it.
That's fine. Hi, my.
Put your big sauce on it.
You're gonna let me? No, I'm not gonna put my big sauce.
Okay,
on it,
all right.
bro.
Just do your thing.
You know me, bro. I'm mad low key.
You're a good guy.
That's right. Hi, my name is Samuel Thompson, and this is my golden hour. Hi, my name is Samuel Thompson, and that was my golden hour.
He's effective because he's a business guy.